What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Pro MG Money channel. Back again with what possibly might be the last or the second last episode of the Lobola challenge. If you don't know what the Lobola challenge is, it's basically a challenge that I started about 2 years ago, where I'd said, hey, let's say I want to pay Lobola for someone in 2 years time. Would I be able to, have a decent amount to start off with if I took 500 Rand every month consistently for those 2 years and see how much I came up with? The plan or idea was to, get there, or to convert that same 500 Rand every month, which is 12,500 Rand, into about 36,000 Rand, which by my mathematics is about a 200% growth, so essentially 100 per year. And that was pretty much the goal that we had set out from the get-go. If you've been following along, you'll know how far or how close we are to that. And today, I've got some good news to tell everyone. If you do actually look at, the is it called shorts? There's a short that I posted recently. You'd know what's coming, but if not, stick around with us. Let's get into today's account. And basically what we do at the start, we go over, our specific account with the specific broker that we use. This is the kind of dashboard feel or look that they have. It tells you a current value here of the account. So currently we have 10,271. Don't worry, this is not the total amount. We've also got a USD account to look at, and that's the current value. The profit that we have in this account is 4,685 Rand 47 cents, which is decent. That's an 83% profit. If we come on down to our holdings, you will see that we've got 5 positions. 3 of them on the green, 2 on the red. Let's go over them. First one is Jubilee Platinum, which is down by about 6 Rand and 43 cents. It's down by about 1%. That and Sibanye is down by 84 Rand, which is about 4%. That is just because I think I got into these two, at the height of the PGM price rally that they recently had. There was a lot of hype around the platinum companies and they were doing quite well because PGMs were selling. But I think ever since then, the price has kind of tapered and come off. And as a result, the stock price of companies like Sibanye, like Jubilee, have actually come down since then, which is perfectly fine. It's acceptable. Not everything is going to be a win. I think I have made a video on PGMs. You can click up there just to see the video. If not, I'll definitely make one in the near future speaking about PGMs, why we went into Jubilee and into Sibanye, and that is that. Then next we've got MTN, which is what I've actually just recently added for the month of November. We've got our MTN shares, which already in the space of a few days is up by about 7% to give us 36 Rand profit. Decent. The king of this ZAR account, and it's actually sad, that we're going to be saying bye-bye to this company, which is Sasol, which is up by about 220%, which has given us a profit position of 4,632 Rand. So basically, the bulk of this 4,600, actually all of it, comes from Sasol, because you'll see it's 4,632, and this side is 4,685. So maybe that's in the MTN put together. That's what gives us, the total profit on this account, which is great. Then as well, we've got ShopRite, which has really come well. It's gone up by about 23% to give us a profit position of 118. Remember, when we actually first went into ShopRite, I had said, to you guys that I feel as though with, all of the pandemic things of people having to stay at home and so on and so forth, and them coming out with Checker 60, that I thought ShopRite was a really good buy at the particular time. There was no other inkling, that, ShopRite was going to do well, and we've made 30% on it so far. So I think, I'm no expert, this isn't financial advice. I'm not telling anyone which companies to invest and not to invest in. But I definitely think that my thought process, or the way that I analyze certain companies or industries and predictions, tends to pan out well. Pretty much every prediction that we've made so far has, continued to go up, Whether we've benefited from it or not is a different story. In the early days we had First Rand, we had Capitec, which maybe have not shot up, but they have gone up a considerable amount from the time that we got in. So I do believe my thought process is there, my thinking is there, and the reason why you're not able to see it materialize is that because we were chasing such high gains on this account, a lot of the predictions or the thoughts that I had didn't have time, to play out. That's one of the things that, hopefully people are able to gauge from this, is that it's not Forex. You're not going to put in money today and, take profits tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. It's a long-term play. You really need to stick it out to the particular company until things come right. For you to really see your returns or gains. So had this been a different kind of account where we weren't really chasing, a high percentage, definitely I think, we'd be sitting pretty with our First Rand and Capitec shares. But because we were chasing after something, we're trying to get as much as we can in the two years that we had, I had to sell out of them. And, similarly so with what's going on with Jubilee Platinum and Sibanye, I need to look at what the prospects are actually of PGMs going back to the highs that they were at. If the prospects are good, then maybe we can stick it out in this position. If not, or if I was maybe halfway through this challenge, I'd definitely be selling out of these guys, because currently they are not helping us with anything, and you need to take your losses, you need to take your wins all together. So yeah, that is what you do there. Let's go on over to our USD account. And on the USD side, our current value is $1,566.14. Our profit position is $1,180.93, with a total profit position of 306%, which is amazing. If we scroll down, you'll see in the USDs, we literally only have two positions. That is our ARK Invest, which is up by about 7%, the ARK Invest Innovation ETF, sorry, let me say it fully, which is up by about 7%, giving us $4. Great. And just below that, we've got Tesla Maesla, as Jeremy from Financial Education would say, which is up by 361%, giving us a profit position of $1,178. Tesla has literally been the darling of the account, and we're going to go over it a bit in a second, but really Tesla has been amazing, and that is where we are at. We take it on over then to our spreadsheet, and you'll see that as time has gone on. So just to highlight something, I do have the 2nd of November there as the date, because I normally try to do it on the first Monday of the month, which I did take it down. And I also just made another one for today when I'm recording this, so that the numbers correlate. Reason why I tend to try to do the first Monday, or I wanted to get some values in on Monday, if you look at Tesla, and we'll go over it in a second, part of why Tesla tends to do well, particularly towards the end of the week, is because of all of the options trading that goes on. People have a lot of options on a specific company. So as okay, so now over on our spreadsheet, you'll see, first of all, I've got the 2nd of November and the 4th. Reason why I've got them both here is that I like to do the spreadsheet on the Mondays, the first Monday of the month. So that was the 2nd. But also with that as well, I wanted to do it before the US market opened again, because we're going to speak about Tesla in a second, and part of what drives up the price sometimes towards the end of the week are all of the options contracts that they have expiries of that specific day. So the price tends to go up as the week tends to close. So I wanted to get this locked in before the options contract had expired and the market kind of comes back to an acceptable level, but it seems to have maintained the level it was at. So throughout the spreadsheet, you'll see there's a 2nd of November and there's a 4th of November, which is the day that I'm filming this on. The account value that we went over today was this 10,286, giving us a total profit position of 4,700, which is a total 84% profit position, which is actually down from the previous week of by 14%. We're on almost 100% the previous week. We're down to about 84, which is, it's okay, it's fine. But in terms of rand movement, we've actually gone up by 182, which, when you consider that we've added 500 rand for the month, kind of then puts it into perspective of where we need to be. Take it on over to the USD. Like we have here, $566.14 versus the almost $1,024 we had. So almost a 500, as you'll see, $531 jump. We were at 165%, which is great, but now we're at 306%, which means in a week's time we've actually jumped up by 100, not a week, in a month's time rather, we've jumped up by 140%. And as I said, 531. Another thing that you need to consider, particularly when we bring it on over here to the total account value, is that the rand dollar exchange rate plays a big role in what we actually end up getting in terms of these rand amounts. So keep that in mind as well, that the exchange rate is significant for this. But currently, the total amount we've contributed is 12,500, which means we're done. We're done with the money. That's all. We're actually supposed to be finished at 12,000, but there was, I think, a month or two I did something extra, so 12.5, which is perfectly fine. Total account value saying at 34,180 rand 16 cents, with the profit position of 21,680 rand 16 cents. Meaning the total profit is 173.44. I know, on the short that I had posted from Easy Equities, it was almost at about 200% what they were showing, but that is excluding fees. They don't count in the fees. We are definitely counting in the fees because it's part of your investment. One of the things that I'm working on for next year, the fees are actually quite a bit that I'm paying for it, and it sometimes you end up losing even though you're closing out the winning position because of how much the fees are. So you must always consider that. And even when we move out from this, I am going to try to show the fees that are involved with all of that. So just keep that in mind, that this spreadsheet is based off of the total amount we've put in and what we get out, or what we will be getting out in the end. Where unlike the actual platform where they don't consider the fees, they only take the amount that lands into the account. Yeah, versus last month, I shouldn't say last week, we're up by about 61%, and the dollar movement is 8,293 rand 76 cents. So overall, it's been good. I kind of just want to say before we get into today's topic that you need to lower your expectations when it comes to investing, particularly if you're in it for the long term. You're definitely not going to see returns of what we've seen now all of the time. You might hit a home run here and there, but if I'm honest with you, this really shouldn't be how you go about choosing your companies or building out your portfolio. You really need to take time, do a bit of research, find companies that you like, that you understand, and that and kind of stick to them and expect at the best double-digit per year returns. All you need to do is beat inflation. That's all we're trying to do. Whatever inflation is, we're trying to double, triple that, and that should be more than sufficient. You're trying to beat the savings account. You're trying to be better than the bank, which we have more than done here with this. But I want to kind of lower expectations and say to you, you're not going to do it, in maybe your first, second, third try. Another thing that I don't really speak about is that a lot of this is COVID gains. If we take Tesla out of, the equation, and maybe take Sasol out of the equation, there really isn't much. But there are some COVID gains that also, a lot of people who have, been in the market, from that March of 2020 until now,